To the sky.
Alright, I'm gonna start making a 3D intro for you guys. So I'm gonna show you how you can make one just like I do, but it'll be like a demonstration instead. And also I will be using presets and plugins in order to save time and money. So first up, just open up your After Effects here. Any version will work, and you want to go to your composition setting. You do 60 FPS 1440p. That's what I do, and then you can just change the duration here, and so you can find a part that you would like.
Go up to the sky.
I like this part, so I'm just gonna use this part.
Go up to the
Found this part here. Okay, now you want to keyframe the Omni levels. You want to set it to negative 40, and then you want to make sure you click this one. You press any number, it will keyframe it.
Go up to the sky.
And if you want to set markers for your bass drop, you can just right click, add markers, or you can just use the numpad key, the reciprocate mark. I just set it this way. Yeah, set it here. And then I set this. And I set it here. And there you go. Okay. And I want to start at 10 seconds. Alright. So click that, and then you set the keyframe here, and then just do the 60. Alright. Now you set the music. Now let's see how this music good.
To the sky. To the sky.
Alright, now we already did it. Okay. Now what? Now you go to open up your After Effects mode, project 60 FPS, turn off linear workflow. Okay. Now we're going to make a text. So to begin with, you have to go to your camera, go to circle, and then you drag this down here. Okay. Now you have to make a setup for it. So now set it to here for field of view 56. Okay. Now we're going to save the project files. So I'm going to save it here. Okay. Now we're going to make the text. So go to mode text you got here. You can select any font. Make sure you download the font beforehand, or else you wouldn't pick any font that you would like. So I make sure I pre-install the fonts if possible. And I'm going to, for example, I'm going to use the name Mecha. So Mika. Now you got this made up, but we have to make sure that it looks good. Now in line, you go middle. Okay. Depth, you do 100, but it looks too bad. Let's do 60. 60 looks good. Now caps, you fill the caps. For your steps, it's 16. It's 16. The radius, you can do 5. Anyways, now Now you copy and paste, do the same here. You can do depth 40 and then caps. You can increase the radius again. Increase it here. Okay. If you don't like how it looks, you can just change whatever you would like. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the Ys first. So I make sure that I click this thing to successfully center the text. Okay, that doesn't look good. So that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Okay, that looks good, but it's too crowded. You can also use the horizontal spacing. You can do 15. 15 looks good enough. Okay. Now we gotta make sure we center this. So I'm gonna set it to at least here, at least 40, and then this here. Okay, that doesn't look centered. So how about 35? Nope, it does not look centered. So we can do here. We can do that. We can move this here. Okay, that doesn't look center enough, so you can just move this here. You can move here. Okay, that looks center enough. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're going to press C on the keyboard to make the 3D text, the individual pieces of the letters. Go to the mode graph, select fracture, and just copy and paste this. Now you want to set this to what I'm doing. Before importing and dragging into these spots, we gotta make sure that we go to mesh, axis center, include children, use all object, auto update, editor update, execute, do these pieces, these extrude pieces here. All right, and then you want to select them from what I'm doing. Okay, and drag there and do that. Okay, now delete these mode text here. You don't need this, and now you got your 3D text being made. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to set the markers for the music. Okay, so open up your After Effects. All right, so here's what I want to tell you. If you're doing 60 FPS, you want to multiply your seconds and then add the milliseconds. That's how it works. For example, 1 second, 37 milliseconds. That's going to be 60 times 1 plus 37. That's going to be 97 frames. So at 97 frames here. And that's just what I'm demonstrating. And for this, another example, 60 times 4, that's 240, plus 25, that's 265. So you want to pinpoint it to this location, and then you keep doing the rest until you get it. So sometimes you would have to adjust the markers in order to sync it properly. It all depends on the music choice that you use, okay? The harder the song, the harder it takes to make an intro, and the longer you will have to spend time on. If you want to delete markers, you can just delete this marker, and then by using right click of the mouse. So yeah. And then you can move this around too, because I added too much markers in that spot. Alright, now we're going to start doing these as possible. Here. Okay. Yeah. Here, okay. Okay, if I did my math correctly. And then this spot here. Okay. I think you have to move this a bit further so that way it just looks better here, better synced. And then just move this bit here. Okay. And this is done. Okay, so yeah, that's how I set it here. You can change layout here. You can set it here. Okay. Now, for the light rooms and the materials parts, you can install them. You can just install them, or you can just use presets that you saved. There's multiple ways to get light rooms and presets or anything that you would need. For example, you can go on YouTube and just download the intro Lightroom packs, which will come with the materials as necessary. So you can use it for your text, wherever it is. Okay? And some of them will include Lightrooms and render settings, which I pre-installed myself. So yeah. For this, I include them on the download link for the project files if you need them. So we're going to make sure that we save it in the spot. So before that, I want to make sure that you include that here. So you want to make sure that you want to save the frames in an appropriate spot. So like I save it to this spot, which is my secondary SSD. I just save it wherever you want. Make sure you save it in a folder, by the way. So I usually include the folder where I put all these songs and everything here, and I'm gonna put it here. So I'm just gonna leave it here. Alright, and then your composite project files, your save has to have the check marks. So make sure Alpha channel has a check mark, 8-bit has a check mark, the rest of them has check marks, and the target application is After Effects. If you want to import the camera for After Effects in order to have the particles and shockwaves work together, here's what you can do. So you have to go to your C drive, you have to go to program folders, you have to go to your Maximum folder, you go to Exchange Plugins, After Effects. So here's the thing, right? You want to go to your Windows folder, make sure you get this here. This is a really important thing. Your format, Cinema 4D format, and your Cinema 4D import are the two most important things you need. Okay, format and importer. Once you get these two things copied, you want to go to your After Effects folder. You want to paste it into your plugins. Alright, so you see what I had so far? This is what you need to do the job, okay? And I also recommend you guys have the plugins such as Sapphire Effects, Magic Bullet Looks, Optical Flares, RSB, Sapphire Plugins, Trapcode, Twitch, Video Copilot, which contains Saber, and DG Effects Damage, DG Effects Derivative, whatever, and hit Film A. You know, the more plugins, the more presets you install in your After Effects, the much better your intros will be. But the main things you just need are Sapphire plugins, Trapcode, Magic Bullet Looks, Twitch, which you don't really need Twitch at all. Optical flares are also important. RSB, Sapphire plugins, Magic Bullet Looks. What else? And yeah, pretty much these are important here, but I cannot provide you with the download links or anything, so you have to find it yourself. Anyways, okay. Now, if you want, so for example, I will include my own Lightrooms and materials that I use. Okay, so Mecha wants pink and red. We can do this. Pink and red. Pink and red. So if you want to use materials, make sure your projection is cubic here, okay? And you want to make sure that the projections are always cubic so that you get that nice render if possible. And you can always copy and paste the materials easily. So you want to include that here, okay? And you want to give yourself a quick render to see if you like it. This one is a great render. Just make sure that you have linear workflow disabled. All right, and then to get started with the song, you want to go to your After Effects. You want to go to Add Render Queue, Lossless, WAV form, and then you go to your folder that you want to save, and then just press save and then render out. Okay, now you go to MoGraph, you go to sound, you want to select the soundtrack, and then you click this, okay, and there you go. Alright, so on this part, what I'm gonna do is start with the camera here. I make sure the view is 56, make sure you follow these along. So for the Z, right, what I normally do is I go for the lowest because it's the easiest to go for. Or you can go like higher if you want to. You can go this way. So anyways, now for this part, I turn this here. And then this, I put this number here. Alright. Alright. Now you can go for this one. I go to here, I keyframe this way, and then that one I keyframe this here. And this part, right, I keyframe this here. I just make sure to move this a bit here. Okay. And then that part I put it here as here, and then this part I put this number as well, and then that part just put this number here as well, and I keep rinse and repeat as always. And then I go for the bigger number, and then that last part here as well, and then this will be all done here. Okay, gotta move this forward a little bit here. Alright, and then just here. Okay, now this part I got through, but not yet. I still have to move this back here as possible. I'll use this tool here. This one is supposed to be 200 for Z. Okay, now we're gonna use F curves. Now what I want to do is make them curvy, like smooth, like this here. I want to make sure these are smooth as possible here, and then I adjust them as good as possible as always. And then here we go. Okay, let's see how this works. This one is not good, so I wanted to make sure that one. This one is okay. That one is okay. This one's a little too close. We don't want it to be that close here. So I don't want to be as close as here.
to the sky.
This one is too far away. I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, this one is better. And then I keyframe it until I get this part here. Okay. I make it loose. It's alright. So I make it this one is fixed here. Yeah, that one needs some fixes here, and then this one also needs some fixes here as well. And then move this a bit here. Okay. Alright, so that's all I can go for. Alright, so for this part, right, what you could do is to make the rotation is pretty easy. So you start with the plane here, just call it rotation if you want to, and then click on this thing, fracture object, click this, and then you can set your rotation whatever you want. So I leave it to 360 here to make a full rotation here, and I usually do -20 here, and then I also make sure that I set it in the same spot as possible. So just follow along here. A rotation 40, strength 40, and then this is 160 here. And then for this part, right, I leave it to this here as well. Alright, for this part, make sure you keyframe it as nicely as possible. So I usually like to keyframe it a little bit here, and then I like to keyframe it a little bit here. Okay, now this is how it looks like. So okay, so that one is okay rotation. Now if you want to do the step, sure. If you want to make it rotation better, you use step here. You click this, you do this here. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do scale. We want to do rotation. So I'll do 360 here. Alright, to do this part, you have to click on this, strength 0. And then you want to do, it depends. So like it depends. So I'm going to do is put these zeros here. And then I'm going to put the 0 here. So you want to test it out, see if it works out. So I'm going to put 100 here. Oh, this one is not good. So we can put negative 360. This should work. And then I'm going to put the opposite view here. Opposite here. Opposite here. And that's how you make good rotation. Now this part, right, you want to use F curves. So you want to right click on your mouse and then just show F curves here. So make sure that the curves look right as possible. So here is. And that one. Alright, now you got this part. Okay, let's say you want to do another animation style. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is you want to open this up here, Mika here. That, press this here, press here. Okay, now remove it, uncheck that here. So I will start at 200 frames. Now I'm going to do is press 0 here. We're going to do the same. We're going to do 40, we want to do 160 here. No, we could do 170 here. 170 here, and then this one will be 60 here, and then I'll leave this here. Okay, so let's say we want to do that one. Okay, so I'm gonna do 60 here. This part, right? I'm gonna do 360 here. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste on here. Okay, now we want to do here and do 60 here. We want to do here. I'll do 360. Why not? And then do the same thing here, here, and here, negative here. Okay, and then delete this. Opposite way here. Okay, so and that's how you get it, but this is not smooth, so we're gonna select this section here, and then we go show F curves. Now I want to set it this way, so yeah, it looks smooth, but this does not look good. So we can move this for back if you want to, just to make sure it looks nice. And I do this way. I do this here, this part, right? Make sure it's is above 200 if possible, and this what it looks like. If it's a bit too fast, you can also cut this in half in a rotation if you want to. But this is what it looks like if it's half. I do not prefer this, so I prefer faster ones like this. This one is better. And that one just needs a bit improvised here, and then this one here, and that one here. Okay.
To the sky.
And then if you want to do the individual letter animation, then you can do this here. I will show you this here, the same thing here. You could do -36, why not? Here. Okay, this part, right? We're gonna start here. I would just make another fracture, just call it Mika Effector 1, so that it just stays organized here. I also would just put these back here as well, and then I would just make another one. to stay organized if you're like a beginner, but I don't tend to stay organized as possible. Okay, now this part, we're going to start at 0 here for the strength, and then for this, I will start here as well, and then this part, right, I'll start S here, and then this part here, I start back at here, okay, and then this one turns to 0, so be sure. Alright, so this part we can do is we can use the F curves to make it a bit better here. And this part, we don't want to be flat, we wanted to make sure it looks awesome. So using the curves really helps a lot, just makes the things so much better. Alright, so this one is way too far. This one is not good. So I want to put it here, back here. So I want to put it back here. Okay, that looks good enough. And then we want to fix this again. Why not? Okay, so let's see how this works. This one is not good. You don't do this here. Make sure it is. Nope, not good. Not good. So it's hard to decide which one looks better here. So I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna start with this here. I figure out how to do this again. Okay, so let's say we want to turn this singular letter here instead of doing this because it's hard to think what is good on this intro. So I'm gonna start here. Okay. 40 for string. And this one 160, and then this part here 200. Now let's see which one is good enough to do. Okay, let's do 360 here. Let's see. Okay, that looks good. That looks good here. Let's do this. And do the same. And then on this part, and this part, right? I noticed that this is going to be good. So let's see. Let's do this here. Let's do here. Okay, let's do here. It'll be better if you want to do M1, M2, M3. If you want to stay a bit organized, you can do that as well. Now I'm gonna set 0 here. I'm gonna set to 40 here. and then I'm gonna set to 60 here. You could do 180. I think 180 is better if you have a little wiggle room in the keyframe, between the keyframes distance. So I would do that if I was you. And then here, okay, and then here, okay. So, and then you can do 20 here. You could do, no, that doesn't look good. You could, no, you could do here. Let's do 180. That would be reasonable to do this. Okay, for this part, right, we gotta make sure that it looks good enough. So make sure it looks good enough for this. We gotta do this again here. Okay, okay, that looks. And then we can do this again. And then do the offset here. You can do this here. Okay. And then do the offset here. And then so make sure that it is all correct. So alright, so we gotta double check the keyframes are right here. I would like alright, so and then for this part, right, let's say we want to do the other rotation, the side rotation. Okay, this part is easy. You could do this way, so I'm gonna make a rotation 2 here. Alright, the simple process here. Do the same as I did. Alright, and then this part here, you can do 40 for this part. You want to make sure you have effector so that you don't mess this up here. And then you can do this here as well. That's how you do the side rotation. Or you can just do this because it just makes sense. Nah, it's not recommended. Nope, not good. Not good. You could do you can also change this here. You can also change this here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that's not good. So that's how you do the side rotation, but I'm not gonna do this, so I'm gonna delete it here. Okay, so if you want to do another one, then yeah, I'm gonna start with another one here. You don't want to be like this, so set the transport space to effector so that it looks nice. So I'm gonna do here, and then go strength to 0. Okay, for this, I'm gonna set it to 100 here.
to the sky. Go up to the sky.
So it's okay. We can do that. We can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here. Alright, I'm gonna make sure I put this here as well. So that's the basic. Okay, let's do the camera. Okay, so usually I start with this here. I start with this as well. Here, I start with this here. I start with that here. I start with this here, and then I rotate whatever I want. So I rotate this piece here, and then I rotate this piece here as well. Like, let's see. That does not make sense. So I'm gonna rotate this piece here, rotate this piece here. So either way, it all depends on what you want to rotate. So let's see if this works. And if you don't like this piece, you can try to disable it, see if you like it, but I disable it. So this is just the example here. So let's see. This one is okay. This one is okay. This one is here. Okay. Oh. This one is okay. And this one here, this one can go to here. Okay. Alright, so this part we can do we could do this here, and then this one can go here as well. Alright, let's see how this works out. Alright, so this one is just okay. We can also do it better. So can also do it better if we can. Okay, let's see. This one is okay. And then I'll just do Alright, this one is not good, so we're gonna keep on this here. This one is a bit too fast. This one is a bit too fast, so we can fix some of the keyframes here. You can also make another circle here as well. Make another circle. You can also do is you could do this trick here if you want to. If you want to, and then here as well. here as well. Try this here. You could do this as well. And if it's a bit slow, you can also change. Also there's another trick. There's also another example. If you want to do this, you can do this as well. So like, you can do this as well. And then you can also do is this here. You can do is this here. Okay. And then this part, right? You can also set the rotation however you want, and then that will be the off rotation here as well. So you can also keyframe this part here as well. I'll set a little bit here. I'll sit here. So that it's a bit smoother. And then do this part here. Nope. Do this part. Alright. There you go. So this is just how it looks like right now. If you don't like how it is, you can also change it. How you can also fix it if you would like. So here, okay. Alright. What if you want to do the popping letters, like it pops up? Okay, to do this, right? To do this is pretty straightforward. You just wanted to name the playing effector start, and then you go to deformer. You just go to fall off. You go box here, and then you simply just make sure you crease this here. Yeah, crease it to here. Okay, and then you select. Oh, if you can't select all, then yeah, just scale. You just want to do -1. Okay, now you press this here. There's this here. Click this here. Press this here. And then press this here. Okay. Now you don't want to mess with the vector strength, so we're just gonna keyframe what we have so far. So this one is a little too big, so we just want to do at least 200. We want to do at least 600. Okay, that's good enough. Now this part, right? this part right. Okay, that is weird. Let's do it 400. Let's do 600 for the X, 400 for the Z, and 100 for the Y. Okay, there you go. X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now we want to do is we want to set to here. No. Let's set it to here, and then this part right, set to even numbers. So I set it here. Okay. See? That's how you do the popping letters like this. Here. Alright, so what if you want a smoother one? Then you can do is go to delay here, do the same things, just go to effectors, just do the same thing as what I did so far with the fracture group. Okay, now for this, you want to go to spring, you want to do 80. So here's this part, right? You want to stop at, you want to click this here, and then you want to stop at 0 for the string. Now try again. See how you like it. Looks nice. I like it. I like it, but if you feel it's too close, you can also increase the field of view as always. It's not a problem. You can always increase that as well, so it's not a problem. Yeah, I want to increase it to at least 62 to see how it works out. Alright, so this looks decent enough. Decent enough. So if you want to do like there's some examples that some people would like to add some highlight colors. So I would add purple because it looks nice. So you can make sure you can check these things here. Just change the colors if you would like. So I'm going to start with this. So go to rubric, selection R1, and then copy and paste R2, and that's how you get the purple inner ring. And then I'll do the same here, and you can see there's a bit of purple here, so looks good enough already. I don't like this here, but it's okay. And then I'll do the orange, why not, here. And then I'll do the same as well, projection cubic, and then R1, R2, and then copy and paste. And then just keep this here. Since we're doing mainly pink and red, that's what our goal is, but we can add a bit of minor colors just to make the intro look better. So yeah, anyway. I also wanted to make some changes here. Let's try this. Let's try this here, and then let's see how else it looked. That was a little bit. Nope, not good. Not good. Just leave it alone. That looks good enough. That looks good enough. As long as it's readable, then it's good enough. So now, I'm gonna put this back here again and leave it alone. You can call this camera whatever it is. You can call this name Mika. It has a name here. All right, let's say you want to do let's say you want to do spines, how I did it. So the way I did it right is I use presets, all right? My own presets, other people presets to do this. So you can go with this, you can find out which one looks nice. That one looks quite nice, I like it. So this is the presets I would use, and then I will use all of this here. I'll move this here. And then I can just add my own colors if I want to. So here, and then render this out. Ooh, this looks really good. That looks really good. You can also make this one here, call it spines. Anyways, spines family, I just call it spines family. And then go to basic, you can just use color, you can display color here. You can use this to organize yourself. Spines families plus effectors. If you want to stay a bit organized, I'm just gonna do it here anyways. And then this part, right? Let's see. This is already the same thing here. These are my presets that I use. So I would just Alright, let's see this one. This one looks good enough here. So no, it has to be around here. That's around this. Alright. Yeah, that looks good enough here, and then I would just do the same as well. I'll do as multiple colors here as well, and then that way it just looks good. See this? Yeah, that looks good already here. Oh wait, you add another color now. Just leave it like this. All right. All cubic. All cubic here. Be right back. Alright, back. So I'm gonna import my stuff here. Anyways, because why not? Alright. So I'm gonna start with my circle spine. So for this, right, for my circle spine, I usually put it around here. So I put it here. I just name this here. I just move around wherever I feel like. So I'm just gonna put it at least here, and then I'm gonna copy and paste. I'm gonna put it here. So and then I'm gonna put it here as well. So I'll put it here. This one put it here as well. I'm gonna move it to whatever spot I want. So I'm gonna move it here. here. Okay, that's way too far, so I'm gonna do this way, and then I'm gonna do this. Alright, so now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start importing these. I'm gonna start importing these materials here. Okay, and then this one here, I'm just gonna no, I'm gonna do white instead. Okay, for this here, I'm gonna do these colors. Nope, I'm gonna do these colors here, as here, and this colors, these colors. I'm gonna start these here as well. So, and then I'm gonna put the white here. Here, okay. Now this is what it looks good. This one looks good already. So and then this, and this part as what. This part, I just don't want to use this here anyways. And then yeah, I would not use this anyways, so I would not use that here. Yeah, I would not use that. I'm just gonna, don't know if I want to leave it here or not, but with just really depends on my mood so far. So it just depends on my moods right now, but you know, it just depends if I want to continue or not. But sometimes spines are kind of hard to deal with here. And to make the spines, you had to use these here. So that's why I use presets in order to save time. But if you want to make your own, you can refer to other videos if possible. It would just take a while to learn how to do it. So anyways, and then that part, I can just do -90 here. See? See, that one is okay, but and then I can just easily move this here. Yeah, but I would not use this here. I would not use these here anyways, but okay. I think it just depends on whatever mood I have so far. So yeah, I would just not care about these spines here anyways. But let's see. Nope, that spine is bad. Don't want to use this. I think I want to use this here. Why not? But nah, it's not suitable here. Not suitable for me. Not suitable for me here. That one, nah. That one, let's see. Yeah, I would not use that here. And then this part, nope, I don't want to use this. So either I just want to stick to whatever I want to use. That one, it looks decent here. So that one, it looks decent. Yeah, that looks decent enough to qualify. So I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, that looks good. I would trust this. Alright, so now I'm done importing all the spines and everything. This is what it looks like so far. Alright, so this is just the demonstration of how I make my 3D intro. Now, time to save this. So we can save it here, save it here, save it here. Here's all of my render settings, how I did it. We could just start at 600 here. 600, you do all frames. Alright, when you get to this part, start importing the frames by clicking the .aec. You double click it, you get the frames. Now you want to do is you want to grab the music. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it from here, and then I just put it there, I just put it here. Okay, now you have this part done. Every time you have lag or After Effects was not doing great, you can always clear disk cache to have better performance. Okay, now this part. So if you want to do the Shockwaves first, which I usually do, you can do is import the files here. You can import it here, and then you can just grab any Shockwaves as you want. So I'm just gonna grab whole Shockwave packs. I'm just gonna import it here, and then I will also start importing whatever Shockwaves I want. So you can do this if you want to as well. So just grab whatever Shockwaves you would like. So I just like whatever Shockwaves I want. And then you can also do is you can create a new folder, just call it Shockwaves here, and then I use Bronzy FX Shockwaves though, because it just looks really good on my intro. You can use other Shockwave packs if you would like, or you can create your own, but there will be a separate tutorial if you can search it up. It would just heavily take time to make Shockwaves on your own. Anyways, now I'm gonna pick the Shockwaves I would like. So this one I do not like. This one is okay. This is decent. Now, first you want to make sure you create a new. You click on this empty place. You call it. You go to right click. You go make a solid. You just call it whatever you want. Make sure you get rid of this sound. You don't need this. Or you can do is you can go to layer, new solid. You can do that as well, but I did it this way because it's a lot easier. Okay, so you definitely do not want your Shockwaves to be like this. No, you don't want to. So I will show you how to do it quickly. You press this thing, right? Press this thing, okay? You make sure you go to screen here. Your transform, you put it 0, you put it 0 here, and then you move this out of the way, and then you got this Shockwave done. So let's say you want to change the color of Shockwave. It's pretty straightforward. So you can go to CC Toner here on the effects and presets. You just drag it there, and then you can change whatever color you want. So I just like it this way here. And you can go to cartoon. You can do that. You can add some nice effects if you want to. So I definitely want to add some nice effects. So you can also change, you can play around with the settings here. This one just gives a blur. So you can definitely do is you can definitely play around it, see if you like it or not. I definitely like to play around with the effects because it's fun. And then I do that here. Okay. So yeah, that's usually my settings here. You can also use that here. It actually looks quite nice here. Let's say you want to do double color shockwaves. So you copy and paste this. For this bottom, you just crease it here. And then this one, you just change the color to whatever preferred color you want. And you get this double color shockwave. And for this, right, you have to make sure that you can rotate at 180 degrees here. That way you get this nice looking double color shockwave so far. As well. So that one looks quite nice. I really like it. For the explosions, right, I had this preset saved. So I'm going to create a new solid. And then I'm going to put the explosion to show you guys what it looks like. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't really need this. So I'm going to show you how I make it to demonstrate it. So I started with these settings here. And I also started with these settings as well. This one as well. That here. Okay. That. And then that. And that. And that. So you can just check it if you want to. If you want to change color, it's definitely easy to do so as well. So I don't have any problem with that. And I get this. And then I just apply it here. So now I'm going to put this around here. And nope. I don't really like this spot. I'm going to put this spot here. So that one looks quite nice here. Looks quite nice. I'm going to import another shockwave here. This one looks quite nice. That one is decent. I would put this here. I'll drag it here and then I do the same steps. I just press this 3D layer here and then I go to my mode. I just change it to screen. You can do is you can also copy settings if you want to, because I found this a really easy trick to do that. And then you can do is you can also change the color here. You can also change the color here. You get this really nice, really nice looking intro when it pops up. So, and then this spot, right? This place, right? I also added another shockwave. Nope, that one's bad. This one looks good, right? And another place. That one's bad. I'm just gonna do the same here. Get rid of that here, and then import this, and then if it looks quite small, you can also change the size, no problem. And then for this part, right, I'm gonna add another explosion wherever I want. So I'm gonna import my presets. So this will be included into the project files. Make sure you save every time because your After Effects will crash. So this place, right? This place, you have to make sure, yeah, that's the black shockwaves that I saved. Same settings as this, except you have to put these settings here on the glow settings, and then you also have to change the colors as well. So pretty much almost the same settings here. I'm just showing you guys how to do this here. And then you save this, and then pretty much I'm going to do is I'm going to save it here. Okay, so that looks fairly decent, I would say. Now, after you get the important shockwaves and stuff, you either can do the backgrounds first or the sync. I usually do the backgrounds first because they're a lot easier, and then you can just render this out immediately. So I will show you how to do the backgrounds, like how I did it, in a later time. Okay, to make the sync, you have to make a new adjustment layer. You have to call this sync. And the fun thing is that you can also change colors as well. So I usually like to change colors of this. If you want to know how to do this, you can go to your edit tab, preferences, general, and then you can, mess around with the settings. You can go labels, you can call whatever you want. So basically, you choose any color you want, okay? Now, I'm going to make a sync. So starting with transform here. If your PC is going to lag, you can just, use the video tab, the eye icon, just so that you can hide some of the stuff so your process would not be lagging after all. Okay, now go to effects, right? You want to scale this to 100 and 140 here, and you want to sync these markers, okay? So just you can copy and paste them. These will be our base sync, while this song will have some tiny bit of stuff, like a large room or a tiny bit of stuff to sync, which has a large room to do it. So we can sync this part, we can sync this part, and then we don't sync the end in the middle. So yeah, you leave it at 100, and then we're gonna do the bounce sync. So I press this button, the ease E icon. It looks like this, okay? And I just drag this down here, and I drag this down here as well. I drag this down here, I drag this down. I make sure everything is dragged down at the same size, so like the same perimeter. I just don't want to make them way too far away that it looks like so messy. So I make sure they're like almost the same exact length if possible. You get what I mean. And then if some of them looked ambiguous or out of shape, I just fix it immediately so that it looked quite nice. Alright, so this looks quite decent. I use this tab. I use the toggle transparency grid. This one is decent, alright? This looked decent here. Not bad. Now, we're going to do the shake. And then we go to Sapphire Distort. Make sure you get the Sapphire FX. But, however, I cannot send you the link to it. So, you have to get it your own. I placed the sapphire shake above, and then I just put the amplitude to 0. I put this frequency to 4. Motion blur is enable, and then for this X random amplitude, I just put 126, and then this one I 84, whatever between that or almost around that, and then for the Z, I put 16, and then for the tail shake, I put 6 for the tail random amplitude, and then 2 for the tail wave amplitude. So, and then I keyframe it to 0 and 1, and then I do the same. I do the same. And after that, I will show you the other stuff. So after that, I go to glow, right? I make sure I go to S glow, import that here, drag it to the adjustment layer, and I set 0 here, and then I put threshold 0.1, and then for the glow width I put 120, and then for that I put 0. For that I put 0.7, and then this, and then I move it out here, and then, so I'm going to copy and paste this as well. And then after that, I go to CC Radical Blur. I also do the same. I just change the type to rotate fading 0 for amount, and keyframe this to 6 so that you get this nice sync as possible. And then I do the same as well. And then I click this part here. I make sure I get these easy eased here. So pretty much you don't easy ease the transform, just leave it alone for now. And if you get this large transparency tile, you can just put the motion tile above the shake, and then for output weight, I just put 300, and then 300. I make sure I mirror edges. So if you do not want to get this, so I make a new adjustment layer. Just use Control-Shift-D to cut the adjustment layer. So I'm gonna call this TR for a reason, and then I change colors to whatever it's easy to navigate. So I just like to do a lot of colors here. So I'm gonna do the transfer. In this place, you don't add any effects except transfer, and then I put 130 just to be on the safe side. So, or you can do 120 and see if it worked out for you. This one is fine, alright? If it's a little bit of the mirror edges, you can always use the black bars to fix everything. So pretty much this is all fixed up, and we're gonna see how it looks out. Yeah, this one is, this is fine. Now we're gonna do the little sync here. We call this little sync, and you pretty much use the same effects as well, but I will show you later how to do it. Okay, I want to make the little sync, so what we're going to do is we're going to sync the Nana part here. Nana part, so you want to go to Sapphire Distort, you want to add some shake here. So now for the Nana part, right, you can put this up there either way. It doesn't matter how you layer your music. So the best trick is you can just use this. to slow it down. To get the nana part here. So now the settings will be the same here or different depending on how you want it. It just depends on your taste here. So I will just do where I can with the settings that I have so far. Okay. Now I'll put 1 here. So we're gonna do nana. Make sure you can just cut this in half if you want to slow down here. Oh, just we're just we're doing nana part here. Here we gotta make sure that there is no big sink here. So okay. And then we can do this here. If you want to keyframe these parts, like we can just put this here. We could just put this here. We could put this here as well. That way it's just a lot easier to keyframe it. And now I stop the keyframe here because we don't care about this pan part. So we're gonna cut this here, and then this part we're gonna cut this here as well. So now, and then once that we can do this way. Okay, now I'm gonna put this big sink over the little sink. You can call this big main sink. That's excuse me. You can call this a big little sink here because that's the most important here as well. That's the most important thing to sink, and I call this a little sink. Either way. And then I'm gonna add some bit of transforms so I can get some nice sync going on here. For this, I'm gonna add a little touch here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Here, just a little bit here, and then that way. And then you can test this out if you want to. So let's see. Yeah, or you can do this way. Either way, I would. Which. Either way. If you don't like the sync, you can also change the transform. If you want to, you can also change it as well. Sometimes I don't like this transform either. I would not put too much sync in it. Like, I would not put too much, but make it as readable as possible if you can, and don't make it stiff. This one is a bit too much, so yeah, test it out, see if you like it. I just like this one better. And for this part, right, for this, right, this part, we could do the fisheye, so I'll call this fisheye. And blur, I just call it fisheye and blur. I would just save much time, like get as less layers as possible. So for this part, right, I use the wrap fisheye, or I just use the presets that I saved. Same thing, except I already have it preset here. This part, right, this part I would just make sure that 0. This one is 0 first, and then this one is negative 0.8. Same thing as here. Same thing as here. I just make sure I keyframe this here, and then this part just move it out of the way, and then I do is Control Shift D to get rid of this here, the excess mess here. You can also access here, but since this is going to be fisheye plus blur, I just leave it alone. So this part I do is I make sure that I make a this shape. I make this shape here to get this one. And then that's yeah, this is okay here. This is okay here. Alright, we're gonna do the camera blur. You would have to search up camera lens blur, and sharpen. This is what I use mainly. For this part, I leave it as 45, keep it here, and then I put it at 0, and then for this part, I put it at 25, and then I put it at 0, and then you can keyframe these here. You keyframe this here. I would leave this in the middle here, and then this part 25, and this part is 0. So I keep going, and then this part, right, you can copy paste these here. I will move this a bit down here, and then this part, this end part, this will be 25, and then this will be 0. Okay, now we're gonna do some keyframing. So here it is. That one can possibly be 0. Okay, here, and then that one can be 0 as well. So I'll move this a bit down, and then for this part, right, this will be at least 0 here. Okay, I'll move this down here. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this graph here. We're gonna make this graph, this type of graph here. this type of graph here. This part, right, I just do this part here as well, and then that's how you get this. Another cool effect you could try is wrap chroma. You can do this here. I also have this saved, so I will put this above here. Why not? And then in this part, right, what we're going to do is we're going to move this here. So here's my settings. Here's how this one just makes it a lot better. For this one, right, I'll move this here. See, I keep it from 0 to 1.1, and then I make sure that I have this graph ready. See, now that looks kind of decent overall, except it's way too close to the camera. So but if it's way too close to the camera, don't add black bars. The black bars is kind of optional if you want that or not. Alright, so we're gonna get to the effects part. So I'm gonna make a new composition layer, and then I'm gonna put this over here. We call it effects. I'll put it between here. It doesn't matter where you place it, as long as it's below wherever you want, because some people just layer it differently. So I have this preset saved called effect, which I will give you some presets, alright, in the project files included. So for this, right, for the optical composition, I make sure that this one is turned on. I make sure this is 0. See here? I make sure I turn these off so that I can just mess around, see if I like it or not. And this part, right, this is cool, see? And then this part here, we can make our own. So see, and then look at this cool effect, see? Alright, so there's that. And then for the wrap puddle, right, for the wrap puddle, these are the settings here. These are just the settings that I'm scrolling down here. And then this part, right, like we don't want too much, so we don't want too much. I'll just leave it alone here. And this part, right, this part, I included this different setting, wrap puddle 2. Here's the settings are really different so that I can show you how this works here. And then for this part, we're going to add turbulence display. So for this, right, how I did it was this is how I set it up here. See how I keyframe it? This is how I keyframe it. This is how I keyframe it. And you can also check these to see which one is good for you. So you can also change. I like to do it blurred because why not? It just looks cool. Anyways, and then I get rid of these effects because I don't really need them. And then for the rubble, right? For the rubble, right? I like to place it somewhere that I like. So maybe here. Here is a good place. Here's a good place here, and then you can also check the settings as well. You check these settings. Oh wow, it's not good. Alright, this is better. That's how the rubble should look like. Okay, so I got these done here. Got the effects done. This part, right? This part here, right? This part, right? We can add the flickering lights here, or the blinky black solid, or blinking fade if we want to. So I'm gonna get started on the background. So for this part, right? How I did was I make sure I add smoke. So smoke is first. I have a preset saved here. So for this, I don't really like some of my smokes that I made, but this is one I kind of don't like. So I have like 3 of them saved, but this one is most decent here. So here's how I did it. So for this, right, here's the settings for the smokes. Here it is. This is cloudlit here. You want to make sure that the colors are a bit dark. Like I would just make it a little bit darker here. And the size here. You don't add any of these here. You don't add any of these. And that's it. That's just basic smoke here. That's just basic smoke. And then I'll put this below here as well. And then I'm gonna do is add some form. Add some form here. I do have forms installed, pre-installed, so I use presets here. I have these crazy names here, and this is another form that I made. So here is all the settings that I have here. These are all the settings that I'm gonna run through it here. I set it to whatever color I want, and then you can also duplicate this. You can also change the size if you want to. You can also change the rotation, so I'll give it a random number. Here. And then you can also reduce it in half if you want to. I reduce it in half. You can also change the axis here. Alright, now I'm gonna do is add particles here. Particles. So here's how I did it. Here's how I did it. So for my particles, right, here's my settings here. Make a box, continuous, you can set whatever you want. I make sure I set the emirate size here. Here's that stuff. Here's these. Here's that. And then that. And then physics, gravity, -10. Here's all that. Alright, for this, I make it this color here. If you want to make it closer, you can just change any numbers. Like here's how this works. And then let's duplicate the system. You can always do that too. And then let's say I want it to be this color. So you can also change the size. You can change the amount of particles. You can also change the direction like I did here as well. And then you can also this one doesn't look good. Let's choose this here. Okay, that looks good. For this, you can double the amount here if you want to. You can also double this amount here as well. This looks way too big, so I'm gonna do this bit here. Here, okay. Now you can duplicate the system. Also, I made this here. See, these are gradients. Here, you can also change these as well. You can also change the inverted size here. See these that I did? And then you can also change the... See? But we don't want to make it too big, so I'm just going to reduce it down to size 15 here. And that's... So that's the particular system I have here. And what else? You can also turn these off if it's way too much effect here. I also have the another form installed. So I have this form here as well. For this, right? For this here, these are just the settings I have pre-installed. I also don't like these colors, so I can also make some adjustments if I wanted to, which is great. What I can do is I can go to here. I can change the amount of particles I want because it's way too much here. Way too much here, and that one is way too much. So you can also do is you can do this, you can do this, you can do this here. Do this. You can do a lot of crazy things with this here as well. I put it above here because it looks cooler. Why not? Why not? And then for another one we can do is we can do another particles. So we can do the black particles here. Black particles, like these black lines. It's really important. I like it. Here's all the settings I have so far, so you can just feel free to edit, copy and paste it if you want to. Here, all of this here, all this here. And inside for this, just make sure that your density is 45. And then you can change the rotation of it, which is cool. Do whatever you like. So if it seems too much, then you can also reduce the amount of numbers, or you can just change the direction as you want it. So either way, it's up to you. How you decide it. So I'm just gonna leave it here and then put it over here as well. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another one. You definitely need more particles than that, more colors than that. So let's do another particles that I personally have. Oh, I don't like this particle, so let's do another one. Particle 1. That looks cool. That looks cool. So for this part, I'm just gonna delete this here. This part, right? You can move either way. So I like it move this way. Like I like to move this. I like it move this way. Here. And the aux, you can just leave it alone. I personally would leave it alone. You can also change colors too. I would just add this color here. Opacity, I'll make it 100. Why not? And then for size, I'll make it 14. Error for main, okay, just leave it alone here. And then for this part, right, you can just do is just do it here. This part, right, this part here, okay. This part, you can double this amount, and then you can also move this here. You can also rotate however you want. I just like to rotate this part here. And then we're gonna make another one. So we have to make another one. We gotta make sure that to whatever color we want. So you had to add some complementing colors, because if you don't, you're not gonna make it look like it's pretty good intro, because you definitely need like complementing colors to do well. And this part, right, we can just leave it here. We can also rotate here. We can also rotate there. Okay, that looks okay. And select, and then save this. Put it here. So yeah, that is decent, I would say. Alright, now time for the optical flares. What we want to do is you want to go to your music, right? I forgot to put this in the bottom here. And then you go to keyframe assistant, convert audio to keyframe. There it is. So let me get rid of these because it will bug your computer out. So we don't want to do that. Alright, now I'm going to make a flare. So we're going to call this flare here. And then we're going to change the color to whatever color you want. I just like it to make it a lot easier for you guys. So let's do something else. No, this one is decent. Alright, for this part, I included the flare preset. You will need an optical flare if needed, if necessary. I like this one better here. Either way, here's how this works. Go to your optical flare settings. This is all basic. Just add a glow to it. Like go to your lens object, just add whatever you want. Like you can also do all kinds of stuff with this. Anyways, okay. Now let's do this color. Okay, this color. And now we're gonna copy and paste this here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this opposite way. Okay, so it looks good. Now we're gonna copy and paste this. What we're gonna do is add another color. So like let's say purple here, and then do the same. Okay, this part, right, we're gonna copy and paste this. What we're gonna do is that, and then we're gonna have to copy the color. So you can copy the color code here, and then nope, that doesn't look good. Yes, that looks good. And it already does that for me. So the way to do it is you go to your effects, you go to your brightness here. You want to do is you want to make sure you have this expression here. So it's just basic coding here. Just make sure you have this layer on effect, whatever it is. This is, make sure you have this thing first, and then you write the code here. So I will just show you how to do this here. So I will show you how to do this. Let me reset this. Okay, so for this part, right, you have to click Alt here, and then you want to do is you have to drag this thing here, like make a line here. See, make a line to both channels, but we gotta make sure that this one is open. See, slider here. So Alt brightness here, and then select this tiny line, blue line here, and then go to slider. So that's how you do it, this way. And then I'm just gonna do is put it below here. Okay, so below here. And then we're gonna do is open this up here. This up here. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add CC. So CC here, CC here. I just like it. Make it whatever color I want. No, that doesn't look good. Yeah, that looks good. All right, now for this, right, I have the presets installed here, so that it just they can learn how to do it. Okay, so you want to make sure that this looks good as possible. So you want to use curves. You want to make sure that it looks decent enough. This one looks way too bright, so we're gonna drop down a bit here. That one is right. So you want to get the best as possible. You can also use hue and saturation. Just plug this in here. You can just make it at least this one here. That one does not look that good, so just leave it here. Here as well. Also, you need to add a bit more particles to it, so that one doesn't look good. Let's add some more particles to it just to make it look better, because there's barely any particles here as well. But I would just make sure I rename this to black particles here. This one does not look like it has enough particles to it, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a bit more. So add a bit more if possible, and then this part leave it alone. This part here. Okay, so this one is a bit better here. That one is a little too much, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit lower here. And that one doesn't look that bad after all, but this is just how I did it. I'm not gonna waste any more time how to do it. And that one is okay. That one is okay. So yeah, the background is messy. If you don't like the backgrounds here, you can also delete some of them here. We don't need that here. You can also delete some of that here. You don't need that here. You can also delete this if you don't like it. And this one looks a lot simpler. This is easier to work with. So this is just how to do this. honestly, this looks quite decent here. This looks quite decent, except that one is a little too plain here. This is a little too bad here. So just use your best judgment to do this here. Also, you can also change the colors here. So yeah, it doesn't look that bad. You can also change these colors here as well. You can also adjust them. Yeah, there's like endless ways to do this here. There's like endless ways to do this. This looks decent here. This one looks decent here. For this, right? For the color correction settings here, right? All I have is this, alright? These guys here. These guys here. So this one is way too much. We don't want to add this much here. These guys here. It's going to all depend on how you do it. So yeah. And this one, you can click down here. You can just select wherever looks good. I like it cool. Why not? It just looks better that way. And if you don't like how this looks, right, you can also do is you can see I made like several CC that I did. This one does not look that much better here. This one does not make it look so much better. This one just makes it look a bit better here. Why not? This looks a bit better here. Here. Form, let's do here. So sometimes some of it will lag or crash. So I made this here. I made this one here. I actually did. So let me show you. I made this form. So if you want to learn how to do this, like how to make this is pretty easy. This is my signature form that I made. So I started with these here. So here it is. I started with this here. These are just the settings. Cowlit here, colors do the same, and then here's that. Okay, so pretty much you do the same. You just have to duplicate these, change the colors, move around using these tools here. Move this around and just play around with it, see what you like, and you get this. And then you have to go to your wipe circles to make sure that you get this thing out of the way. Use twirl and then vector blur pretty much. And then since we're gonna do like instead of blue, like this has blues in it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this here instead, like just these colors instead of blue because we don't like it here. And then yeah, just leave it alone. And then we copy and paste this. So you can also copy and paste this here. 280. It looks way too much. So we're gonna do 65 here. We're gonna do 65 here. Alright. But let's do 50. 50 looks way much better here. 50 is much better, and then just drag it above smoke here, and that's how you get this, like this signature look. So there's not enough black particles. That's why I would say just re-edit as much as you can. Yeah, add 21 here. I just like change a bit here. And then for the particles, I would just duplicate this here. For this, just you can also do this as well. You can make black particles here. Just do that here, and then for the size, you can make this 35 here, and you can also do this as well. You can also change these guys here. You can also rotate around here, and then click OK. So you get these tiny black particles here, but that's okay. And then if you add CC, it's gonna make it look a bit better here. So yeah, this one looks a bit better. So this is just the beginners to my signature style here. And then if the smoke it looks too dark, you can also change it up. You can also change the colors here. So you want to get the best results as possible, like the best looking results if you can. If you can here. So that one is decent, right? Now I want to add another form here. I wanted to add another form, so I wanted to add another form here. Let's see what I can do. This one looks good. So this one looks good here. I would just press stop here. Beware, this will crash your PC. So just try to be really careful when playing around with this, because that one is not really safe to play on like most PCs, because most PC I would just reduce this if I can, and then I would just add here. This will be at least this color here. Got this color here. This one will be at least I would just move this back to 0 here. And then this one, we can say this can be whatever color it is. Okay, that one doesn't look good. So we can just change this here. Okay, that looks way too much particles here. We could just reduce it to this amount here. This one can be moved anywhere, so just use your best judgment if possible. So here's all the settings that I got here. These are just the settings. You can also use the blocks in order to help you with this. So pretty much this is going to about to crash anyway, so move down this here. This will be below here. Okay. So that it doesn't look quite empty. This one is decent, alright? This is decent here. This is decent, but this one has way too much red. So I'm just gonna put it at least 5 here, because it's okay to change your mind. So so yeah, this is just the basics here. This is just the basics here. How I did the backgrounds and everything down here. All right. So for this part, right? For this part, when you get the raws, like you just get rid of the effects and the looks. What you want to do is you want it to go to your composition render queue, because if you render this out, right, the whole thing, you're gonna spend like probably like a whole day doing this. So the way I did it is I just get rid of the effects and color correction, but I only keep the background and the text. You go to your add to render queue, right, and then I just render this out down here. Like I just call it Mika's render, and just wait for like probably a whole day to render this out. So then after you get this done, you go to your like media encoder, but I will show you in the next moment. So yeah, when you're on the media encoder, make sure you have the same your version as the After Effects so that you're able to export it successfully. So when you're on this page, right, on this, make sure that you go to your output name. Make sure you save it anywhere you would like to save. So I'll save it on the videos here. For this basic video settings, render it in maximum depth. I use this here, and then for this, just turn that up really high, and then use maximum render quality to get that really nice raw render here. So once after you get this, then you want to save it here. You want to, check that all this stuff is all saved, and then click OK, and then press this start queue. So it will render this out, and then you can also put in the sync, the color correction, motion blur, black bars, all these other effects to make the final intro composition. Okay, now for this part, right, I would do is just import the video here. That is all, and you can close these guys up here. What I would do is I would just close this using this icon here. You can press this, hides all the layers, and then just import this here. Remove the sound because you don't need that for the music here. Now you can turn this up here. Turn this. Okay, now what we can do is make a new composition from selection, and you can add the black bars or not. It's up to you. So I'm going to show you guys how to make the black bars if you want to add it to it. So you go to effects and presets here, CC jaws, and then add to it. Now for the height, you just put a 0. Here for the completion, I put 80%. That's what I usually do. And then and then I would do is add the RSB here. RSB. You can just plug this in. Wait, don't plug it to that. Just plug this to here. You want it color coded if you can. Just add to this. For the blur amount, I put 1.2. And then for the motion sensitivity, I put 55 here. Okay. Now for this, right? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the other effects. So let's do some. I'm gonna add some final effects, and then this will be done. So I made this. This preset color out. So this is the preset effects that you can use. For this, right, you would make the background at least. You want to change this to color out 1, and then for the background, right, you instead of none, just put it color 1, and you get this really nice thing. But if you don't like the colors, you can also mess around with the gradients. Either way, so you can mess it around, see if you like it or not, and then nope, let's do blue. Nope, that does not look good. Alright, so you can get rid of the hue and saturation if you don't like it. You can just go with how you want it. So that one looks decent. Now you gonna put this out here like that, and then I do not like this color, so I'm gonna make some changes here. This one is okay. I'm just gonna leave the blue on because why not? Here, okay. Now this part, right? We're going to get rid of this here as well, and so I gotta close my door. Anyways, for this, I would just make sure I bump it this way. I just bump it this way if I can. Here. Okay, so let's see if it looked alright. It looked alright. I would just do is I would just add a bit of touch here. Okay, that looks fine. And then for this part, right, just add to here, and this will be color out too, except I would change some gradients to here. I would change some colors to here. You could use that to copy and paste this here. Okay, that's right. That's all right. And then for this, right, if you want to change colors, right, you can do is you can do this, color change here, color change. You can use the hue and saturation. You can change the color to that one looks kind of good. I like this color better. Yeah, that one is decent. Alright. Alright. Now, let's give it a test. Like, we want to make sure that it looked good. Alright, so. yeah, this one doesn't look that good, so let's see what else. I can make some changes here. Here, that is yeah, that one, it doesn't look good. I'm just gonna do is let's try this. You can try is you could do is that doesn't look good. Here, let's see, this one, select properties, get rid of that, we don't need that. That way, that one's perfect. That one is perfect. And then you could do this. It's a little I don't like this. Let's try this here. Let's try this. Nope, let's do something else. Let's try this. How about this? Nope. Nope. That is bad. Extremely bad. Okay. So let's see here. That one's extremely bad. That one's extremely bad. Let's try doing this. Nope, that is extremely bad. Let's try this. That one should look good. If you want this sync, then yeah, go ahead, but sometimes and you get this weird looking thing. Well, another thing is that I add a bit of one so that it just looks decent here. Here, but you can yeah, sometimes I work this way here, I work that way here. Let's see, that one doesn't. Let's see this one. Let's see, that one looks fine. Nope. Don't like it. Let's try this. Yeah, that one is good. Alright, so that one should be. And then for this part, right, I added I just added the BBC glow glitch. It's something that you can just use if you want to. I would just add a little bit of glitch. I added a little bit of glitch here. You don't need that much. You just don't need that much. I just add a bit just to make sure it looks decent here. And then I just call this glitch here. Okay. here. Okay. I just added a bit of glitch here. Alright. Now let's do fade. So call this fade here. And then set opacity to 0. Set opacity to 0 here, and then set the first opacity to 100. And for this part, right, set it to 100 here, and then I've got to add this to it, so you can add the flickering. You can add a flickering if you want to. So you can add a flickering if it's up to you. But I would just leave this away, just put it around here, because it just looks much better to do it. No, that's a flicker fixer. No, let's try this one. No, that doesn't look good. No, that doesn't look good. Let's see. Let's try this out. If this flicker is going to be good. Let's try flicker here. No, let's try this. This one is much better. Let's try this. No. Oh, that's not good flicker. Let's try this here. Yeah, the flicker's not good. I'm gonna use this one instead. This one seems more. Yeah, this one seems better. And then for this part, right? What I do is add a fade here, and then try this out here. Okay. Here's that one. Let's try this here. This one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's way too much. Let's do 45. 45 is reasonable. 45 is reasonable instead of 100. It's not good. And then this 45 is so reasonable. 45 is so reasonable to do here. And then I will move this up here. You can use this to help yourself here. As well. So here, try it. Here's that. Okay, now there you go. Let's say you want to do displacement map. Okay, let's do that here. For displacement map, this process is not going to be that hard. So import a random shockwave, right? And then you want to make the new adjustment layer. You want to call this layer, right? This adjustment layer 13. Let's do DM or displacement map. You go to distort here, and then you want to plug this to shockwave, which is 5, shockwave 5, which is this. Now you want to turn that off, and then you can see there's a bit of displacement like this, like that. But what you need to do is we want to set this to 200 here, and then I would do is set it to where I want. So this one is kind of decent, not good. So what we could do is you can replace this here. You can replace it to any of the shockwaves that you save. So like I have, for my example, right, I have a lot of shockwaves that I install. You can do that too as well. See, you can see there's a bit of displacement like that here. There's a bit of displacement like that, and then we want to do is we want to make sure that this is this one, right? We set the footage to 60 FPS. That's our standard here. And then you can see there's a bit of displacement map here, so not bad. And then you can also copy and paste this as well. For this, you set it to shockwave here, and then that's how you get some displacement. All right. And then you can add your effects here. You want to hide this. You want to hide these. Don't hide the DM. Just hide the shockwaves and unnecessary stuff. And then just move this out of the way. And then there you go. And there you go. That's how I make this. This is how you basically create my style. But this is not fully a good intro in my style because this tutorial is rushed. But I just want to teach you guys how I do it. Like I just want to demonstrate how you can do it just to get my style here. So now. You can press play on the render. It will take a while to render depending on your PC specs. So once you get that rendered out, then you pretty much can hit the Adobe add to Adobe Media Encoder, and this will pop out. I forgot to add that one. Just don't forget to add these one. Okay. Pretty much, this is just a 3D intro tutorial, and it is my pleasure to demonstrate how I did, even though I kind of struggle to communicate, even though I stutter a lot on this video. It was a lot of work to make one intro. I know this intro is kind of rushed, but I I understand that a lot of people, like a lot of people who commission me, was wondering how I make mines. So yeah, this is just how I did it here, how I did it, and yeah. So anyways, once this is all done, you can add to the Adobe Media Encoder queue and just do the same thing what I did with the raw renders, and you'll be all done. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below about anything. If you don't like this video, feel free to dislike it, and I'll subscribe, whatever it is. But I wish you guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.